Luminous Star here. Welcome to my channel, Luminous Star. Tonight's video is about narcissists who will emotionally try to manipulate you. Okay, in tonight's video, I will be sharing with you guys 3 points. Okay, 3 tools, 3 points. And at the end of the video, if you would please hit the like and or subscription button, and also send me comments and questions. For you guys who are my current subscribers, you know I'm not going to forget you. Mwah. Thank you so much for your subscription. And if this is your first time visiting Luminous Star, welcome and come back again. All right, here we go. On with the video. This one is going to be fairly brief. Okay, so first tool or first point is to take a very clear or get clear, take a very close look and get clear on how you do relationships now versus how you used to do them in the past. This can be any relationship, friendships, business partnerships, marriages, or whatever the relationships are, right, in your past. You know, and I've done this. I've taken a look at my past concerning relationships, but I only use my past as a reference guide. In my present life, right now, when I even think about my past, it's only pertaining to me as a reference guide. That's it. I only use my past as a reference guide. Very effective. Okay, and my support base, which makes part of my support base is very strong, pardon me, is because I use my past as a reference guide only. That took some self-discipline on my part, by the way. Yeah, I just slipped up so much in the beginning, and you know, my ego got in the way. So yeah, I had a lot of stuck points. But anyway, tool number 1 is look at how you do relationships now versus how you did them in the past. Okay, because this will help you to determine if you're open right now to investing in healthy relationships versus toxic relationships. Okay, and I know that helped me out a lot, because as soon as I started looking at, I did the comparison. I'm like, okay, you know, I've come a long way, which leads me to my second point. Celebrate how far you've come. Yeah, celebrate how far you've come. Absolutely. Because this way, when you look at your past and you look at how you used to do relationships and you look at where you are now, you have something to celebrate because you've made progress. More than likely, you've made progress. Okay, third and final point. Again, you're going to have some people that try to manipulate you right now, because some people are not going to like this new you. They're not going to like it. Okay, so some people right now, they will try to emotionally manipulate you. So that way you will start, you know, doing the toxic relationships again, or give them another chance. And especially if it's a narcissist, they're trying to get back into your good graces. And you know how terrible that can go. All right, that's just a disaster waiting to happen. Okay, so yes, third and final point. Absolutely. You want to stay, you really want to stay mindful of where you are. Okay, so third and final tool is this. Let people know, especially those that you have a relationship with, let them, because you're clear now. You're focused, you're clear, right? And you're celebrating how far you've come. So third and final step, you're going to finish that off with letting people know how you feel, where you are. Like, in other words, you're going to effectively communicate. You're going to put that into practice. Easier said than done. Yeah, it is. Easier said than done. Because a lot of people really don't like to do a whole lot of communicating anyway about problems, issues, challenges in relationships. Every relationship has it. But who wants to talk about it? Right? Nobody. A lot of people feel very uncomfortable with that. However, those of us who have healthy relationships, we know it's vital. It's very important. It's vital. Very important to be able to effectively communicate how you feel and what you think, what's on your mind. You know, you have to express that. And sometimes when conflicts come up, I get how that can cause triggers. Yeah, I've been there, done that. Yes, that's very difficult. And I actually did a video where I touched on that. Conflict resolution. I think I did 2 parts with that one. If you would please go ahead and check that out on your own time. Okay, I think you will find those very useful. The information in that very useful. Okay, conflict resolution. I did a video on that. But yes, when we're, having those conflicts and we don't feel so good, it's like, oh my goodness, then you're triggered. It could be quite a challenge. It could add on to the challenge because all relationships have conflicts. Yeah, even the best relationships have conflicts. So when we incorporate conflict resolution along with effective communication, hey, we rocking there. Yes, more than likely, nobody's going to be like the narcissist, threatening to slash your tires or performing some kind of other vandalism and cussing you out, calling you everything but a child of God. We don't have to worry about that with people that we're having healthy relationships with. So third and final tool again is, just express how you feel. Put that into practice. Effective communication. Put that into practice. Easier said than done. Absolutely. But this is going to be very effective. And this, more than likely, you're not going to have a whole lot of people trying to emotionally manipulate you. How come? Because you're showing that you care about yourself. You're a little bit more vocal. You're expressing yourself a little bit better. Right? People are going to take a look at that like, whoa, okay, this person, they expect to be treated well. That's going to be the overall message, because how you treat yourself is how other people are going to treat you. Okay? So hopefully this video was very helpful to you guys, and stay tuned for more videos. Till next time, take care of yourself. Okay, welcome to another live stream. I am Cassandra. Welcome to the Luminous Star channel. Tonight I'm going to be talking to you about, emotional discipline. Okay, this is something that some of us are going to have to do when it comes down to learning how to detach emotionally from a narcissist. So I'm also going to be talking about signs that let you know it's time to let go, and how to deal with trust violations. And then I'm going to get into the tools. I want to welcome everyone for joining me today or tonight, wherever you may be. And I may give a few more minutes for some people to get in, but at the end or at the conclusion of the live stream, I will answer some questions. And please let me know if you can hear me or not. If you cannot hear me or see the screen, yes, please let me know in the chat. Okay, so managing expectations, or to manage expectations. One of the things that you can look for when you're looking for several signs, right, which will provide you some information, especially when you're dealing with a narcissist, right? So what is the purpose to manage expectations, right? It will clarify. It will help you to focus. It will help you to take accountability. It will also help to practice mindfulness and self-regulatory process. It takes off the rose-colored glasses So these are just a few things that's going to take to manage expectations. Okay, but before I get into all of that, let me just go ahead and pause right here. Let's see if I can pause here. Okay. Um, just a second. So I'm gonna pause. Okay. So when we start to go through some of these steps here, okay, let me just backtrack for a second. All right. Backtrack. Now, this is not going to be easy to do, especially when dealing with the narcissist, because sometimes they would go into an argument, sometimes they would start things unexpectedly. So, to manage expectations doesn't suggest that he or she is to be looked at as, being innocent, because they do pull shenanigans that could be like hidden below the belt. So it's not going to be very easy to manage your expectations of him or her. So when you are gaining clarity, this is going to help you to focus. They kind of go hand in hand. So, your purpose is not to change others, but to realize that you are changing in order to fulfill the legacy of your life. Okay, some of you may have goals. You may not have time to entertain the narcissist, right? Especially when they're trying to knock you off your square. But when you start to clarify certain things, one of the first things you're going to notice is that you are outgrowing the narcissistic codependent relationship. So, narcissists, they tend to not like change at all. Okay, so when you're gaining clarity and you're gaining focus, he or she may, it's very interesting how they may become disheveled. They may start to act like they're knocked off their square because they're not going to be expecting that curveball. Okay, so as you gain clarity, expect them to start, some narcissists anyway, start to behave as if they don't know what's going on. They don't understand this new you. They don't accept this new you, perhaps. Okay. All right. So when you take accountability, this does not mean that the narcissist, again, that they're being goody goody or they're not doing anything to cause you some issues. No, it doesn't mean that at all. It just means that you're taking accountability, you're in control, you're practicing emotional discipline. Whereas the narcissist, of course, they don't want you to practice emotional discipline because that keeps them starving. That keeps them from being able to penetrate or to tap into your energy field. Okay, which, again, they're looking for the supply. So when you start to take accountability for you, okay, yourself, well, then they're not going to have anything to point the finger at. Okay, so it's not like they won't try. It's just that they won't have anything to put on you. Okay, they're not going to really be able to blame you for anything, and without looking like an idiot, right? So when you take accountability for yourself, for what you feel, what you think, the choices you make, for the things you have going on in life, see, that leaves the narcissist again starving. It's not that they won't try to project onto you. It's not even that they won't. It's just that they're going to risk looking like a complete idiot if they do. You're taking care of your own. Okay, you're taking care of yourself. Perhaps you have children with a narcissist. Perhaps you're the one that has custody, right? You're handling your business. So the narcissist is risking looking like a complete idiot when they point the finger at you and try to make you out to be the bad girl or the bad guy. So when you manage your expectations, this is what this looks like. You already know from your experience with the narcissist that he or she tends to pull shenanigans. Okay, so when you go ahead and just take accountability for yourself and take responsibility for however you're coming into the relationship, right? Instead of just looking at the narcissist, well, this is something, again, the narcissist is not going to be expecting, because they want you in the argument. So especially when they goat you into an argument, they don't want to feel like they're a complete idiot and they're just out there swinging in the wind, right? No, they want you involved. They want you engaged. So when you choose to take accountability for yourself, that's just another way of practicing emotional discipline. Okay, so the narcissists, they tend to not do that. They tend to point fingers. They tend to want everyone else to pretty much take the blame for what they do, what they think, what they feel. So when you practice mindfulness and self-regulatory processes, that's another way, again, of managing expectations. It's just a reflection of it. It's another way of practicing emotional discipline. Because when you practice mindfulness, okay, there's 4 aspects of the mindfulness. That is practicing personal boundaries, which narcissist doesn't like to do, right? They don't like to respect anyone's personal boundaries. But also, when you are practicing mindfulness, you're also getting better at becoming assertive. Okay, instead of, the narcissists, they like to bully, especially emotionally bully others, right? But when you're practicing assertion, that doesn't mean that you're on the defense. That just means that you are, it goes right back to handling your own, taking accountability, what you think, what you feel, where you are in the relationship, where you are in life, who you are. Okay, so the narcissist is not going to be expecting that. Another aspect of practicing mindfulness is when you are, now see, this one gets a bad rap, what I'm about to say, but self-preservation. And I interpret that as just a person who is giving give him or herself permission to what? Take care of themselves. Okay? Become responsible for their own. To take better care of the self. And it kind of goes right into the self-regulatory processes, should you become triggered by something he or she says. So when you practice the personal boundary, it kind of goes hand in hand with practicing the self-preservation, because you are handling yours. You're taking care of yourself, your own mind. You're in control, not the narcissist. And of course, a lot of people who have been experienced in having relationships with narcissists or cluster personality types, they already know that narcissists, they like to be in control. So those that they target, if they're showing signs of being in control, then that is a direct threat to the narcissist's false self-images, which they have several of. And each false self-image, okay, has a mask, okay, assigned to it. But when a person is practicing self-preservation, it's just another way of saying that they are in control of themselves. They choose to be in control. They choose to not become reactionary when a narcissist says and or does something. And so the 4th aspect of mindfulness is, I think I mentioned, let me just go back down the line. Personal boundaries, self-preservation, assertion, and I'm forgetting the 4th one. I'll just keep talking. It'll come to me. But anyway, self-regulatory processing, right? Should you become triggered? This is just another way of soothing yourself. Okay, so the narcissists, of course, they want you to be knocked off of your square instead of being in control. So when you're practicing mindfulness, okay, that it goes hand in hand with self-regulatory processes. Narcissists and some cluster personality types, they tend to groom those that they target for source supply. So this means that the ones that they target for source supply, the narcissist expects him or her to behave, think, and feel a particular way that's going to get them the source supply. Okay, so when a person practices mindfulness, yeah, they're gonna be the person who's more, in control. They're gonna be demonstrating their growth, right? So just expect the narcissist to not really like this so much. But when you begin to manage your expectations, That's what that looks like. You are taking off the rose-colored glasses. You're seeing things for what they really are. You're not sugarcoating anything. And the narcissists, they won't be able to come back with some kind of story to sell you, right? Such as telling you who you are versus you knowing who you are. They like to also create a false image of those that they target for source supply. Okay, so when you take off the rose-colored glasses, this also reflects that you're managing your expectations of not only yourself, but the narcissist. And this does not work for the narcissist because they like to keep people off their square. If you are focused, right, and you are gaining clarity, see, a lot of people who deal with narcissists, they are highly intuitive. Okay, not saying that narcissists are not highly intuitive, because some of them are. But a lot of people who have been targeted by narcissists in their own life, they tend to be highly intuitive individuals. So when you're gaining clarity, how does that look? Well, or some examples of that is that you may keep a dream journal. You may be having dreams about the narcissist. Okay, you may be, and sometimes this is unexpected. So this is another way of gaining clarity. Pardon me. You're gaining clarity when you're jotting down or you're writing or you're keeping a dream journal, because you may read something and you're like, oh my God, right? You're having a revelation. You may realize something that's going on in that relationship that perhaps you weren't ready to see for a long time. But when you dreamt about it, something was revealed to you. Okay, so this is another way that you may be gaining clarity. But when you manage expectations, this is to clarify, to give you a clearer perspective on what's going on in that relationship with the narcissist and the cluster B personality type. And this goes right on to how you're able to focus. Because when you start putting all these things together, you can focus on what really needs to happen in order for you to do what? Yeah, thrive forward, grow past the relationship. Most of you already know you're outgrowing it. You're outgrowing those relationships. They're very toxic. They're very, because of these subtle signs of codependency. Okay, so the mindfulness, okay, the 4 aspects: personal boundaries, self-preservation, and what was the other one? Assertiveness, self-preservation, and I don't know why, guys, I cannot remember the 4 aspects of mindfulness. You guys forgive me. But anyway, I can't remember it right now, but maybe it will come back to me later. Okay, let's keep moving, shall we? Okay. All right, but besides, a lot of you who've been watching my videos, you already know. Okay, you already know the 4 aspects of mindfulness. All right, so excuse my brain fart, okay? All right. All right, so once a person takes off the rose-colored glasses, yeah, they're going to be ready. They're going to probably have more confidence to move on anyway. And of course, the narcissists, they don't like this type of change. Okay, so there's the denial, the acceptance, and the misuse of ego. These are signs that it's time to let go. It's time to let go of the narcissist. It's time to let go of that narcissistic codependent relationship. Or it may be time to at least contemplate shifting the gears and strategizing your next step. Some people have done this already. Congratulations, you know. And every situation is different. Everyone is not able to just, you know, move on with easy transition, right? But where they are today, see, it starts in the mind, not the behind. A person can, for instance, they can pack their bags and be gone, right? But mentally, psychologically, perhaps even emotionally, they're still with the narcissist, or they're still in that, they're very much involved in the narcissistic codependent relationship, right? And that kind of ties into that denial or cognitive dissonance that some people have experienced, right? So this is one of the first signs, right, that a person should look for when it's time to detach from the narcissistic codependent relationship, because they're going to be in denial for a minute, because that's going to take some adjustment on his or her part in order to thrive forward. It starts in the mind. A person can make that move, right? Physically, they're out, they're gone, but energetically, spiritually, perhaps even emotionally, due to perhaps toxic ties, soul ties, trauma bonds, okay? They haven't left that relationship. And, I'm not saying all this so someone can feel badly or any of you can feel bad. No. I'm saying this because this is very common. This is an experience I have even had. It's never easy when a person first starts to thrive forward. It is not easy, but it's well worth it. Okay, because this is a change. Sometimes a person may find out that they are the catalyst to a much needed change, not only in their own life, but somebody else's life. So, one of the first signs to look for is denial. It's like you're going to be pushing back from reality. But when you deny that the quality of the relationship with the cluster B personality type is there, it's a denial. It's kind of like you're pushing back from. It's like you're putting the rose-colored glasses back on again, and you're pushing back from what your intuition is telling you, that relationship is not going to go anywhere. The narcissist probably won't change. So when you deny the quality of the relationship with a cluster B personality type, such as a borderline personality, okay, that has come to a close or it's very poor, when you start to deny this, it's time perhaps to let go. All right? So, you will not be able to love, to care, okay, to support, to console, negotiate, bargain, rescue, or explain well enough why those relationships are not within alignment with why you even exist. Simply put, that relationship that you're having with a narcissist, see, it's going to become very clear that it just doesn't compute. It just doesn't fit. You're no longer a vibrational match to the narcissist or cluster B personality type like you once were, right? Some of you are already experiencing this. But even if you haven't gotten there yet, give it a little time. Don't, your healing is not a contest. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. The narcissist does that. Don't do that to yourself. But you're never going to be able to explain well enough why those relationships are not within alignment with why you even exist, with who you are. What's one of my favorite critical questions to ask, and I have asked this question in several of my videos, and that is, what is the purpose of the narcissistic codependent relationship? Why are you experiencing that? But again, the deeper question is, what is the purpose of the narcissistic codependent relationship? Every life, like every relationship, has a purpose or serves a purpose. And I know some people may feel uncomfortable, saying that, or yet alone hearing that from someone, as if to say that if they're in a painful relationship, they deserved it. Not at all. Not at all. But every relationship, like every life, serves a purpose. There's a story behind the story. We're all experiencing this thing called life, right? It's a gift nonetheless, but it comes with challenges. So acceptance, right? But you know what? Before I get to the acceptance part, I just want to say, your purpose is not to change others, certainly not the narcissist. But perhaps your purpose is to realize that you are changing in order to fulfill the legacy of your life. And the narcissist, or the narcissist cluster personality type, relationship, just dealing with narcissistic abuse may be a hindrance. Okay? What is the purpose of your life, right? Certainly not to be narcissistic food. So, try to find the grace and good in every goodbye. Sometimes in life, we just got to let certain people go. Just got to do it. And this is showing grace as well as mercy. And I know some people may not feel comfortable with that. Whichever side of the fence they may be on, they may not be comfortable with receiving grace or mercy. They may not be comfortable with providing, grace and mercy, or finding it. But, life rewards those who find the love to let people go. Life tends to reward those people who are not afraid to say goodbye. Okay? Especially when it's not serving a purpose in their life. So those people, letting go of the people, places, and things that are not within alignment of your life, it may be time to contemplate that or to look at that, And of course, love yourself through it all. It's not, this is one of the things that I found out. It's not about demonizing other people, guys. It's not about even demonizing yourself. Narcissistic codependent relationships are designed to be highly addictive for everyone involved, whether it's the narcissist, cluster personality type, or those that are targeted for source supply. It's not easy. But at the end of the day, it is not about demonizing self or others. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting up here saying that some people's behavior is not demonic. Some of it is demonic. Okay? Not everybody's behavior, though, is demonic. It might be painful, but it's not demonic. It may be abusive. Now, that can be, okay, you can easily transfer that to being demonic, right? But at the end of the day, it is not about demonizing anybody, and especially yourself. You gotta love yourself, guys. Okay? So that's one of the biggest revelations I've had thus far in my life. It is not about demonizing anybody else, regardless of their behavior. Because at the end of the day, everything that narcissist does, it goes right back to sender. And I don't mean to make it sound like I'm judging. We're all comprised of energy, though. What we put out comes right back. Okay? So, all right, acceptance. By accepting that you are outgrowing relationships, that are very painful without any real purpose behind it, is a sign that it's time to detach. Okay? When and how to emotionally detach from narcissistic codependent relationships. Okay? It sounds like a lot, sounds like a tall order, but it's well worth it. Gotta put one foot in front of the other. Gotta just take those steps, right? When you start to accept that you're outgrowing that relationship, what else are you going to do, right? But naturally, go ahead and thrive. You've already survived. Where else are you going to go? What is the next thing? You graduate to becoming a thriver. See, you're a survivor already, but you graduate to becoming a thriver. So by accepting that you are outgrowing the relationship, okay, this relationship is very painful, probably the most painful relationship you've ever had. So many unanswered questions. The narcissist does not want to seem to meet you or anyone else for that matter halfway. They just want the source supply. Whenever a person is being let down and put down repeatedly by a narcissist, that's a lot of pain. A lot of pain. So the sting is when the narcissist does not or seems to intentionally leave things unsaid and undone in a relationship. They make promises, break the promises on purpose. And again, this is seem to be that way. But it may be time to detach emotionally. Okay? When you start to accept that you're done with all that drama. See, the narcissists, they produce or they create all that drama only to catch karma. See, don't think that they're going to get away with it. Not that it's my call or your call. But the bottom line is, narcissists tend to not ponder or look at the cost of them attempting to obtain narcissistic supply from anyone. They're too busy salivating over the rewards or what they think they're going to get. So they don't contemplate the long term. Figuratively speaking, what is that 30 pieces of silver gonna cost? Some narcissists tend to have that Judas effect or that Judas way about him or her. They want the 30 pieces of silver, but they don't consider the cost. What is it gonna cost? What did the 30 pieces of silver get them, really? Even if memory serves me correctly, and you all can, correct me if I'm wrong, but once Judas received the 30 pieces of silver, he went out to hang himself. He was done for. He was done for. So the 30 pieces of silver was scattered on the ground. And the way I interpret that, people interpret that biblical reference differently, but again, it's just a biblical reference to the point I'm making, and that is when the 30 pieces of silver was scattered on the ground, to me that was the 30 pieces of silver scattered on the earth, on the planet, making it able for those who didn't do any wrong to be able to partake of those 30 pieces of silver. So good can happen in their life, right? The so-called, or Judas, right? The person who betrayed Jesus, hey, the 30 pieces of silver was scattered about the earth for those who can really use it and put it to some good. The person who never intended to do any good with it didn't end up spending it at all, but it cost them. See, narcissists don't think about things like that. They just want the supply. They don't think about long term. It's right here, right now. Give it to me now, right? Who cares who gets hurt? So when you start to accept that you're outgrowing it, it's time to go ahead and learn how to emotionally detach. Some people may need to spiritually detach, mentally detach, psychologically. Down the line, they may just need to detach from the narcissist and or the narcissistic codependent relationship, which is designed, again, to be highly addictive. And a lot of that is due to the narcissist grooming those that they target for source supply. So, there are many reasons that the relationship are full of ups and downs, the back and forths, the tit for tat, the one-upmanship. Okay? All of that is by grand design. Just to keep a person in a sunken place or in a state of despondency. And the narcissist loves that. That's if they love anything, it would be that. So, life is not without challenges, conflicts, issues, and disagreements with those that we love and care about, right? But when it comes to the narcissist, it's kind of like, where's the love? Right? Where is the love, right? It's like, okay, there's no love here, or it doesn't feel like it. So when you start to accept some things, yeah, it's time to go ahead and let go. But when a person, this could be the narcissist too, who begins to misuse ego. See, we're not supposed to get rid of the ego. We all need our ego. It serves a purpose. But when a person starts to misuse the ego, that is another sign it is time to let go of that relationship. It is time to let go of the narcissist and, take off the rose colored glasses and perhaps stop idealizing him or her. See, it goes both ways. Sometimes the narcissist will idealize others, and this is reflective of them creating a false image of those that they, seek for source supply. The narcissist may tell themselves that you are A, B, and C, or you're this person or that person, right? You're this way or you're that way, and reality says otherwise. You say otherwise, but does the narcissist care? Mm-mm. No, they want the source supply. So when they start to put you up on this pedestal, perhaps, and they idealize you, see, that's just the other side of that coin. Both of you could be idealizing each other. And this is not me attempting to scold anyone or to point fingers. No, I'm just simply saying how sometimes the narcissistic codependent relationship can have people caught up. And they may mirror each other. The narcissist may mirror him or her. The source may mirror the narcissist. See, it's very, very, complex. But it can be very diabolical the way the narcissists carry out their behavior or their plans of obtaining narcissistic supply the whole time for the duration of the relationship. Ever wonder why it's so easy for them to move from one person to the next? Because they don't ever give of themselves in the relationship. They're too busy idealizing others and want others to idealize them or put them up on a pedestal. But see, the moment you fall from grace, that's when the narcissist really lets you know what was up. Okay, the whole time. See, they never cared about the heart. They want to possess the mind of those that they target for source supply. But the misuse of ego, again, is another sign that it's time to let go, because the narcissists, they are some of the most egotistical individuals on the planet, aren't they? Right? Yeah. But when you start to misuse your ego, see, it may be time to let go of that relationship, because perhaps some of you have come to the conclusion that that relationship is not bringing out the best in you. The narcissist tends to bring out the worst in you, perhaps. Some of you may have already, you maybe have already come to this conclusion. But the misuse of ego is another big one. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right. All right. And I don't think I mentioned anything about the crazy making, but I think I touched on it a little bit. But that crazy making is another sign that perhaps it is time to let go of the relationship. Okay. I didn't mean to pause it. Here we go. Oh, let's see. See if I can skip up a little bit. Let's go. All right, just a little. Y'all bear with me. I was trying to get this slide together earlier today, but I didn't want to just slap anything together for y'all. Can't do that. I want y'all to have good slides here. Okay. Trust violations. Yeah, this is a big one. Okay. So when dealing with a narcissist, cluster B personality type, Trust is going to be violated, hands down. Can't avoid it. Okay? The trust will be violated, period. So when a narcissist violates your trust, okay, I don't want to go to the tools yet. Okay. So when they violate your trust, this can leave a lot of scars, a lot of wounds. Okay? So you guys don't really need me to tell you that. You know that anyway. The narcissist is the one that really doesn't give a rat's ass about who they leave behind with the pain. They don't really care about that. As long as they get the supply. So when the trust is violated, they don't care about the damages, the long-term damages. So some people end up not trusting anyone after they have dealt with a narcissist. See, a lot of people have dealt with more than one narcissist in their life, right? So when the trust has been violated, that's a very deep wound that seems to go for a long time. But the trust, see, with the narcissist may not ever be repaired, but that's okay. A person can learn how to trust, period. It doesn't have to be the narcissist. The narcissist has already violated your trust. And some of them have the nerve to even try to get a second chance, or maybe a third chance, or maybe even a fifth chance. To do what? That would be the main question. Another chance to do what? Right? What would be the purpose of a narcissist trying to hoover a person back in? And I've done a few videos about that. Is to shield him or her from, well, one of the reasons is to shield him or her from experiencing the full extent of consequences from pulling shenanigans, from engaging in biological, where did I get that word from? From engaging in the diabolical tactics, right? Right. So when the trust has been violated, a person has to deal with that. They may have to go see a counselor. They may have to go see someone for quite some time, where the narcissist is just moving right along to the next person. They don't care about the damages that they have left behind. Sometimes a person can't even, or they're finding it difficult to start a new relationship. And this is not just romantic relationship. This is any type of relationship you can think of. It is hard for him or her to trust enough to start a new relationship that could be healthy. This is very common after dealing with a narcissist. Okay, and the narcissists don't even, most of the time, they don't even trust themselves. All right, they don't even trust themselves. They don't trust life, I don't think. I don't even think narcissists trust life. And what I mean by that is some of the good things that happen in life. They may question it, like, why are you being nice to me, they may say. Or they may question that. Anytime a narcissist comes across someone who may be good to him or her, they may question it. They may go the extra mile to question it. They may just look at everyone with suspicion. They may be paranoid. Okay? But when that trust has been violated, it goes real deep. Very deep. So trust issues are, one of the largest issues that people face as an aftermath of exposure to narcissistic codependent relationships. Okay, now this goes double if a person has been involved with a narcissist or several of them for a long period of time. Like if the narcissist is a family member, or maybe there were several family members that a person has, maybe since their childhood, which again I would say is exposure to adversity at a very early age. Okay, but the bottom line is this: when narcissists have done so many, pull so much BS, right, that it leaves a person not having a lot of faith in relationships or positive relationships. Perhaps they start to think or doubt that they can ever be involved in a positive relationship. that they can ever have real friends. And then they may even start to think that narcissists rule the world, or they're all over the world, or they rule their world. Okay, now, okay, yeah, we know that there are people all over the planet that may have cluster B personality types, and such as a narcissist, right? But in your world, are they taking over? See, some people may think and feel that, which that's understandable, especially after the trust has been violated. So when a person is triggered by narcissists, by something they, say and or do, they may become reactionary. But guess what else happens, guys? When somebody else says or does something that may not be a narcissist. See, a person who has been dealing with a narcissist for so long, they can become easily triggered by something that someone that is trustworthy may say and or do, because they may be looked at with suspicion. I hope that makes sense, because this is something that's also common with people who have dealt with narcissists. This doesn't mean that it's all doom and gloom. This just means that after dealing with a narcissist and having the trust violated, that means that everybody may become suspect. And again, this is just maybe. But you see how that can kind of bleed over into positive relationships, or what could be a positive relationship? So even, for instance, a person may go to a counselor. After dealing with a narcissist, they may go to a counselor or a clergy, okay? And they may want to reveal certain things that they have gone through in that relationship. But it may be hard to divulge certain things or to reveal certain things. Okay, you're just part of this, because you're giving intimate details of your experiences with narcissists. So it's not easy at all anyway, right? So the person, the clergy, or the person, the mentor, or the counselor that you're talking to, or it could be a friend, right? They may have already proven, or they have shown to be trustworthy, but for some reason you may not be able to trust him or her at all. And perhaps you have been, and this is an example, I'm not picking on you, okay, this is just in general. A person, I'll just say it like this, a person could be, they can be dealing with a clergy or the mentor or a person for a long time who is trustworthy. But because they have had so many experiences with narcissists that ended up whereas they couldn't trust the narcissist, right? It bleeds over to all the other relationships with people who really are trustworthy. And this is unfortunate, but it happens far too often. So that has to be repaired. So this is another reason why I say that the narcissist has no business in anybody's support system. When you have a support base, the narcissist shouldn't be there at all. Matter of fact, I say don't even tell them about it. They have no place there. They've already violated your trust. And maybe a few other things too, they have violated that. So the trust issue is one of the largest issues that people do face after they have dealt with a narcissist. So, it's no question that the ability to trust must be restored after experiencing the betrayal of trust. Okay, after that betrayal has been experienced, guys, and I know some of you know about this. After that has been experienced, it is no wonder that people sometimes may have, or they may be, it's hard for them to trust even when they are loved and cared for. It's hard to trust that. Narcissists leave so much damage behind, when they do things. But the real stinger is that they really don't seem to care about that. They're too busy reenacting their own unresolved issues and or pain. See, all narcissists don't come from having a bad childhood. We all have some challenges in childhood. But a narcissist, when they do what they do, it is not always because in their childhood they were abused. And I felt like I really needed to say that, right? It's not always the case. Sometimes they will try to convince some people that they have been abused as children, when that is just not the case. So, when you learn to trust again, or learning how to trust again, right? Will take learning how to trust yourself first. So that is, that's one of my tools. Trust yourself first. Learn how to trust yourself first. Don't try to, trust somebody else, because it's going to take time for you to build that up. It's going to take time. So, channeling your own energy will be a game changer. The narcissist is already, they have tried to tap into your energy over and over. And that also can result in trust being violated, because they'll lie, okay, right? They will manipulate, smear campaign, character assassinate. All these things is a violation of trust. So, when you learn how to channel your own energy, that's a real game changer right there. The narcissist won't know what to do with that. So the narcissistic codependent relationship is designed to drain you of your energy. It is also highly addictive. So wasting time, money, resources, gifts, talents, and energy on those who you know to have narcissistic traits will knock you off balance. Every time, guys, it will knock you off balance, keeping you right where the narcissist wants you instead of where you want to be, right? So, learn how to trust yourself. Some people, and again, your recovery from narcissistic abuse is not a contest. It really isn't. This is one thing I had to learn too. It wasn't a contest, and it's still not. I'm still thriving forward. I'm still doing things that I need to do to focus on thriving forward. It's not about looking left, right, up, down, backwards, forward. No, it sometimes is about looking within, right? It's about doing that so you can continue to do what you need to do to thrive forward. And the people that you love and care about, they want the best for you too. Ever notice how the narcissists, they may say they want the best for you, but they really don't. The proof is in the pudding. Look at how they behave, right? So they don't always want the best for you. But I just wanted to go ahead and put that out there, because I know some people right now, they're really struggling with dealing with narcissists that may still be in their life at this time. Okay, so I want to go ahead and get into the tools. I didn't want to be too long-winded tonight. I didn't want to do the live stream too long, because I know sometimes I can go for quite some time with the live streams. I know some of y'all know that. But yeah, I wanted to really put this out here tonight. So, control is what the cluster B personality type, such as narcissists, that's really what they feed off of. That's really what gets their goat going. That's really what gets them going. That gets their juices flowing, right? So, but you want to be in control. You're gonna, this is something that a lot of us have to still do. We have to take the steps of being in control rather than allowing the narcissist to be in control. It's interesting how they will claim the life of a person that they're targeting for source supply, and at the same time, they will groom the person to not even claim their own life, because they're too busy trying to what? Please the narcissist. That's just another way of saying a person not claiming their own life when it comes to the narcissist, but the narcissist will claim his or her life in order to obtain source supply. Very interesting how that turns out. So, okay, let's get into the tools. All right. Oh, my mouse is acting up. Let's see. Let's go. Tools. Yeah. From my own personal experience, I can tell you that trust is just, that's the most challenging part of healing and recovering past narcissistic abuse. Just being able to learn to trust again, starting with the self, Okay, so tool number 1, discontinue claiming what does not belong to you. Tool number 2, take steps to frequently try something new. Tool number 3, practice mindfulness and focus intention techniques. Now, this is my opportunity to go over the 4 aspects of mindfulness that I couldn't remember earlier. I had that brain fart, right? But the 4 aspects are personal boundaries, assertion, emotional discipline, and self-preservation. Okay, so when a person, let me jump back to tool number 1. When a person discontinues to claim what does not belong to him or her, that goes right into them not claiming who they're not. The narcissist creates a false image of those that they target. So when a person is claiming to be someone they're not, this supplies the narcissist. So any signs of your growing past the narcissist is automatically going to be a threat to his or her false self-images. All of them. They have several false self-images, right? So when you discontinue claiming what does not belong to you, that's another direct threat and or challenge to the narcissist's false self-images. When they are pulling shenanigans, there's a lot of names that you can come up with that they are. They're pulling a lot of shenanigans, and that makes them an ass, right? So why would you claim to be an ass? This is just an example. The narcissist wants you to claim that. See, when they pull stuff, they want you to claim to be who they really are behaving like, or who they really are. You see how that works? So when they pull BS and they're acting like an ass, they want you to claim that. They want you to walk around feeling upset, like you were the ass in the situation, but they were. So discontinue claiming what does not belong to you. Discontinue claiming what or who you're not, right? What doesn't belong to you? The shenanigans. You're not pulling them. The narcissist is. But yet they want you to take the hit for it. They want you to take the fall for it. Falling from grace. Okay? They want you to be a shield or a buffer from them catching karma from what they have done, right? They want you to pay for the consequences instead of them experiencing the full extent of the consequence. Tool number 2, take steps to frequently try something new. This is, the body remembers, right? It records everything. Even when we try to forget. Maladaptive coping skills, right? Smoking, drinking, sex, food, whatever, right? Rock and roll, rap, whatever, right? Anything we try to do to forget the things that are painful. See, the body remembers, it records it. So take steps to frequently try something new. This is going to get your body accustomed to something new. Therefore, you're creating new energy, and you're also creating new memories. You're releasing heavy energy that does not serve you. So take steps to frequently try something new. That way your body becomes accustomed to something new, something more pleasant. And that's also how the contrast happens, comparing apples to oranges. The rotten apple is the narcissistic codependent relationship that you have with the narcissist. The juicy orange are those relationships that you have that are very positive. They leave you feeling great, right? So when you're trying something new, you're also obtaining the contrast. What does the contrast do, or what's the purpose of the contrast? To obtain peace of mind, right? Harmony and balance in your life. And whether people notice or not, or they are conscious to it, they're looking for the balance in life. They're looking for some peace of mind, or they would like peace of mind. Okay, so, but the contrast provides these things. And balance, balance, peace, and harmony. Some people are not, they're not cognizant of, or they're not aware that they're looking for these things in every aspect of their life. Sometimes, like I say, there's a time to fight, there's a time to rage war, there's a time to be peaceful, all these things. But through it all, people still, deep down, I think they value peace, harmony, and balance. But there's a time for it, right? Okay, so Tool number 3, practice mindfulness and focus intention techniques. Okay, so we went over the mindfulness part. The focus intention techniques are to focus on what you intend to manifest. Okay, so does a person intend to manifest the pain of narcissistic codependent relationships? Probably not. But guess what the narcissist does? See, they're the catalyst of getting people to focus on what hurts, the pain, what's not working. But it's very interesting how, especially when the narcissist wants to hoover you back in, they want you to forget. See, they want you to forget something. Any guesses what they want you to forget? See, they want you to forget how they obtained the narcissistic supply from you. And the thing that the narcissist doesn't forget is that they obtained it from you. They want to forget how they obtained it from you. See, they have selective amnesia. So they want you to focus on what hurts, what doesn't work, what's painful, until they want to hoover you back in. And then they want you to focus on their positive side, if there was any, right? Or they'll try to make it up. They'll try to fluff it up and glamorize it for you, even though it really sucked, the things that they used to do in the relationship. But when they're trying to hoover you back in, see, they'll try to glamorize it and fluff it up and make it seem better than it really was, right? So, yeah, the focus intention technique will help you to focus on what you intend to manifest. Narcissists do have a selective amnesia. See, they never forget that they obtained the supply from you, right? They want to forget how they obtained it, but they will never forget that they have obtained it. That's why they recycle source supplies, okay? And who is their best supplier? Okay, they have several pawns in the game, but make no mistake, the narcissists, they recycle. They recycle those that they supply or get the supply from, right? All right. It's very interesting how they have the selective amnesia. Okay, guys. All right. Let's see who's in the chat. All right. Okay. Welcome. Truth, why not? Welcome. Seashell, welcome to the live stream. All right. Let's see who else is here. Nathan, welcome. Ellie Wynn is with us tonight. Welcome. Susan Ralph, welcome to the live stream. All right. Let's see some of your comments. Let's see. Seashell says, help, my cousin is a narcissist, same cycle with women, horrible discards. The latest relocated from the U.S. and is starting to feel crazy. I feel so bad for her. I know how it feels in a confused state. Wow. Okay, Seashell, thank you so much for sharing that. And yeah, whenever we have loved ones, and I did a video about this, by the way, sometimes when we have some people in our families, they may choose to continue to have a relationship with a narcissist or a cluster B personality type that's in our family, or maybe it's their lover or their spouse, right? And it's very hard to see them going through what they're going through. But sometimes it's best to say, if you advise them, if they ask you for advice and they're reaching out to you, and see, you can only do what you can do. And sometimes it's best to just say what you have to say that one time and then just leave it alone. And I know it's hard. That's someone you love and care about. But sometimes, guys, you just have to get to the point where you know you have done all you can do. Everybody cannot be saved. Okay? And I'm speaking from the heart here. I know I've been in a situation where a loved one was being hurt by somebody that also hurt me. Okay? So it's very hard. You can only do what you can do. So I wish you the best, Seashell, but I'm telling you from experience, sometimes you just gotta, that's the best way to love someone that you really love, is to, they reach out to you, they say, and you say what you have to say, and you put a lot of love on it, but then you just gotta step back and just hope, and that they will take heed to what you have said, and that they can feel your love, right? And it is hard though. It's hard to see somebody going through it, especially if you've gone through it too, right? Okay, let's see. Nathan says, I only was able to pull it all together when I acknowledged that trust was the main issue. Thank you. Well, thank you, Nathan, for your comments. And yeah, that trust, from personal experience, I'm going to tell y'all, that trust thing, yeah, very hard. That's the toughest. For me, that was the toughest. Because once the trust is violated, I mean, you really, it's like you really can't repair it. And it takes, if someone wants to, and that's something else I want to say about that too. If somebody wants to reconcile, let's just say if the narcissist wants to reconcile, right? Maybe they have turned over a new leaf. Yeah, right. Slim chance. But anyway, for example, let's just say the narcissist really wants to reconcile, right? Well, the first step to that, especially if the trust has been violated, is to make atonement. How can anyone reconcile without making atonement? Now, what does atonement mean? That means everyone involved is taking responsibility, because remember I was talking about accountability? Yeah, everybody takes responsibility for their part in that relationship, in the breakdown of the relationship. What was their part? What was your part? And in order for the reconciliation to take place, the prerequisite, see, I'm getting tongue-tied here, right, is the atonement. That got to happen first. A narcissist, sometimes they'll try to put the cart before the horse. And they'll sit up there and they'll try to hoover you back in and try to make things better than it really was, right? Trying to make it sound like it was all, great. And sometimes they'll try to belittle the things that you went through that caused you grief. Because again, the selective amnesia, they don't want to remember how they got the supply from you. But you better believe they remember getting it. They don't want to remember how they got it. How did they get it? Perhaps they got it through pulling the shenanigan of smear campaigning you, or telling everybody that you were, the bullshitter or full of BS when it was them. When it was them all along. But my experience has taught me that in order for reconciliation to happen, the atonement must take place first. That means everybody involved must be ready, willing, and able to take responsibility for their part in the breakdown of the relationship. What had people growing in different directions? Not necessarily going in different directions, because, sometimes the relationship has run its course. And it's time to go ahead and see the good in the goodbye. Yeah. And just when the narcissist tries to hoover back in, or, that may be a great question to ask them, or a great statement to make to them. Well, are you ready to make atonement? And just see how fast they get out of there. Because atonement means that they have to take responsibility for everything that they have brought into that relationship. The energy, the spirit, the mindset. What type of mindset did they have when they met you? Or if this is a family member, how did they treat you? What type of mindset did they have? All of that. That's what atonement means, people taking full responsibility. But, some narcissists, they're not willing to do that, right? Yep. So, let's see here. Look at some of your comments. I just saw one I wanted to get to. My mouse is acting up, y'all. Let's see. Susan Ralph. Welcome to the chat. Susan says, Dr. Hegstrom on Arrested Development, life is all about getting out of the terrible twos. Yeah. Good point. Yep. Let's see. Okay. Seashells 200 says, "Thank you. This knowledge is a blessing, but isolating because unless you've been through it, people won't get it or even recognize it." Yeah, that part, that whole part. This is why some people, I think, they just, they thumb their nose at narcissistic abuse, which is unfortunate. But on the other hand, I will say that it does seem like more people are becoming vocal about it. And I think that's a good thing. We still have some ways to go, but I think more people are becoming a little bit more vocal, and there is more awareness. For instance, there are counselors who are becoming more aware on how to well, I was going to say treat, but the I don't really want to use that word here. Okay, not in this instance. I will say that there are some counselors who are becoming more aware on how to discuss, okay, things that have happened with their clients, okay, if they've been dealing with a narcissist or cluster personality type. And even, there are some counselors who are speaking with, or they have clients who are coming in to see them that do have cluster B personality types. Perhaps not a narcissistic personality, but maybe they have been diagnosed with the borderline personality, okay, or antisocial personality. But some of these personality types, they also have co-occurring conditions such as bipolar, or what's another one? I know I saw some videos about this. Some narcissistic personality types, they may deal with alcoholism. Sometimes people who thought that their loved one was an alcoholic, turns out that they were a cluster B personality type, and vice versa. Some people think that the person is a cluster B personality type when maybe, hey, they're just, they have problems with alcohol. Okay? But they sometimes intertwine. A cluster B personality type will have issues with substance abuse and or alcoholism. Okay? But yeah, there are some people, unless they went through it, they just don't get it. D Majesty, thank you so much for the super chat. You're welcome. Yep, you helped me a lot. You're welcome. Thank you so much. Let's see. Nathan says atonement. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, narcissists, they tend to want to sweep things up under the rug, especially if they know they harmed you. They want to sweep things up under the rug. They want to go ahead and just pretend like it never happened. Well, their aim is to obtain more source supply. And sometimes it's because they're trying to hoover certain people back in because they don't have anywhere else to go. They have run out of options. But sometimes it's not because they ran out of options. They just want to add on to. They don't want to run out of supply. And sometimes it's an ego. It's an ego thing. They want to see if they can pull you back in. But most of the time it's just like the narcissist who's going to the gas station. They may be running on empty and they're trying to get to a particular place. They don't want to run out of gas before they get to that place. So they don't care who they come across to fill that gas tank. They don't care who it is, just as long as the gas tank is full so they can get to where they're trying to go. For instance, somebody may help them fill the gas tank and the narcissist will pull right on off and leaving them standing right there on the road. Right? Leave them standing right there. But they're trying to get to where they're trying to get, regardless of who helps them. Yeah, so let's see. Isis Bella, welcome to the live stream. She says, my child's dad is a narc. How do I deal with him? Okay, well, I have done a lot of videos on the narcissist spouse, family members, but I will tell you, I haven't done a lot of videos on co-parenting with the narcissist. I've done one or two. Okay, so as far as like co-parenting with a narcissist, what I could do is go ahead and send you that video, or I will put the link to that video in the description box for you. Okay. But I haven't done a lot of videos on that. I think it was like one or two. Okay. But I appreciate you sharing that, Isis. But yeah, that's a tough one too. I've heard a lot of testimonies on this one. Me personally, I haven't had that one. This is why I haven't done videos on that. I haven't co-parented with a narcissist. So, I appreciate you sharing that, okay? All right. But I will tell you this. And this is based off of some of the testimony I have heard. When it comes down to having to go to court with him or her, you will have to have your ducks lined up in a row twice over. You will have to be very careful about the information you're putting out there and what your steps will be. Don't tell a lot, have a very small circle. I will tell you that, because narcissists tend to like to sniff around a lot of people that love and care about, and who love and care about you, and who may know you. See, some people don't understand and understand what it's like to be involved with a narcissist. So sometimes, unfortunately, and unconsciously, a family member or a loved one can end up helping the narcissist. If you're co-parenting with the narcissist, some of your loved ones can end up helping the narcissist and causing you more grief. And again, this is not intentional, but this is why, you might want to keep a very tight circle about what you're doing and what your plans are. Strategize the strategy, plan the planning twice over. That's the best thing I can say about that one, okay? But the best of luck to you. Well, you really don't need luck, but the best to you, okay? Thank you so much, Isis. Okay, let's see. All right, welcome to the live stream kingdom. All right, how do we protect our energy from the psychic attacks? Their diabolical behavior is sadistic, and they're my neighbors, and I cannot move yet. Okay, well, I've done some videos about this too. Okay, so for instance, when you're dreaming about him or her, most of the times, of course, it's not intentional. But this is one way that narcissists do the psychic attacks, right? They like to stay in the center of your mind. They like to hijack the consciousness of those that they want to obtain source supply from. Now, the video that I did, I think it was about 3 months ago, about dreaming of the narcissist. When you are dreaming of the narcissist, guess what? That's your dream. It's not the narcissist's dream. It's yours. So that means you have some control. One of the things that is very powerful to do, and that is to keep a dream journal. I mentioned that earlier in the stream. But when that narcissist shows up in your dreams, guess what you can do? And I'm challenging you, Kingdom, to try this. You look at them and you tell them to leave. You don't ask them to leave. You tell them to leave. It's your dream, not theirs. Yeah, I challenge you to do that. You tell them to leave. And they're going to have to leave. If you are having flashbacks, okay, in your waking state, because this is something else that happens too. If you are having flashbacks, it's going to also help you to practice the self-regulatory process that I was talking about, should you become triggered. Okay? But when it comes down to seeing them and they're on your mind a lot, they're showing up in your dreams, you may think that they're playing mind tricks, or, most of the time they play mind tricks anyway. But one of the best things to do when you're dreaming, tell them to leave. I don't care if you have to practice this. When you're in a state of dreaming, you have more control than you think you do. I don't want to get too deep into this. This is not what my channel is about, but I will tell you that once you claim what is yours, that is your dream, the narcissist cannot claim it. Narcissists have a habit of claiming people's lives. They will claim your life. Hope that you won't claim your life. That's what they hope. It's time for you to claim your life. That means your dreams as well. Are you claiming your dreams? Are you making it manifest? The dream. And when a narcissist shows up in your dream, that's another psychic attack. I'm not trying to make these narcissists seem like they're all powerful, and no. But once you stop telling yourself they're powerful, they cease to be powerful. So I challenge you, Kingdom. Next time that they show up in your dreams, tell that sucker to leave. You can tell them a few other things too, but I'm not trying to be. I was gonna say something, but I think you get the gist of it. You could tell them to go somewhere else. Get out of your dreams and go to beep. All right. But anyway, I wish you the best on that one. And maybe you can share with us and tell us how it goes. But yeah, that is another form of psychic attack that narcissists like to do, and that is to show up in your dreams. Okay, but once you claim your dreams, they can't claim it. Once you claim your life, they can't claim it. Once you claim your identity, they can't claim it. Once you claim your mind, they can't claim it. Stop claiming what doesn't belong to you and claim what does. Stop claiming who you're not and start claiming who you are. When they show up in your dreams, psychic attacks, they look at you like you a punk. Okay? You're a pushover. Stop agreeing. So when they show up in your dreams, tell that mofo to leave. Okay? And they got to do it. They have to comply. They have to comply. Tell the truth, and the narcissist has to flee. Tell the truth, the narcissist has to flee. I dare you to try it. I dare you to try it. Okay. Welcome to another live stream, Steffi. Glad to see you tonight. All right. So Steffi says, yes, Luminous, you are so right about that. Once you see them as not powerful, they cease to have power. They just want you to always believe they do. It's a marriage, just like their false self. Yep. There you go. There you go. Welcome to the live stream, Lisa. The narc tries to tell me that I love him. Well, of course they're going to try to convince you of that. But you know better, right? Yeah, you know better. And when I say you know better, I mean, I'm not trying to say that you should know better. No, I'm telling you that you do. Intuitively, you know. You just know. You know, right? But they always try to convince, narcissists, they will sometimes try to convince people of what they want them to believe. Okay? They don't even know who they are half the time. But yeah, when they tell you that they love you, yeah, I would challenge that. Challenge it. Challenge. Matter of fact, challenge everything that a narcissist says. And even when they show up in your dreams and try to F with you there, challenge it. I know I did. It worked for me. It worked for me. Okay? Challenge it. Everything they say, everything they do, challenge it. They're hoping you won't. But that is another way that you're demonstrating your growth. Right? And just checking some of y'all comments here. And I really appreciate you all showing up tonight and participating in the live stream. Of course, there's another live stream coming up shortly. But I was thinking about maybe what I'll do is every time I do a video, I'll just recap. Unless is something else you all want me to talk about, I can. But I usually like to stick to what I know, what I've experienced, right? So let's see. Let's see. Lisa says, good info. It's amazing to know I'm not the only one. He speaks to me telepathically. Wow. Yeah. Which can also be another form of psychic attack. Again, narcissists, when you think about how much a person is involved with narcissists, I mean, day in, day out, especially if you live with him or her, they're in your energy a lot. So this is not something that is surprising that he or she can show up in your dreams. But as far as like speaking telepathically, wow, yeah, that is another form of psychic attack, or could be another form of psychic attack. Now, when I say this about narcissists, I'm not suggesting that they're all powerful and they're more powerful than you. It's just that when they are in a person's life, they're in their energy a lot. Okay, we're all comprised of energy. So when a narcissist is there a lot in your energy, then it kind of goes hand in hand. They're probably going to show up in your dreams. Now, sometimes the dreams will reveal to us something that we need to resolve. In other words, the person that's showing up, we may want them to help us close something or to obtain closure, but the bottom line is reality, no, they're not going to be able to help you with that. Sometimes you have to just snatch back what belongs to you. Your mind is yours. Your consciousness is yours. Okay, your gateway. Narcissists tend to have gateways, and you don't want to cross those. You don't know what's going. It was once those gateways are crossed. I'm talking about a narcissist now. That you don't know what kind of darkness you might find. Those demons, they have to slay, and I'm just speaking metaphorically. Okay, figuratively speaking, they have to slay that. But the bottom line is narcissists, they don't like to resolve issues. They like to leave things unsaid and undone, which is another reason why we dream. There are things that need to be resolved in our lives, things that we need to know, things that are brought to our attention. So when you dream about a narcissist, just another thing. That's another way of looking at that. They're in your energy. Do they need to be there? The critical question that I was asking before, which is one of my favorite critical questions to ask, and that is, what is the purpose of the relationship with him or her? Are they bringing quality? Are they helping you to bring quality to your life? Not saying they're responsible for your happiness, because they're not. But when narcissists show up in your dreams, yeah, that's just another way of looking at it. Does something need to be resolved? What are they in your life for? To the point where they're showing up in your dreams. What role does a narcissist play in your life? Yeah, it's very deep. Dreaming is another way of releasing energy that's heavy. So if that narcissist is showing up in your dreams, perhaps it's time to what? Emotionally detach, spiritually detach from him or her, from the relationship. Maybe the relationship has come to a close. Maybe they're showing up in your dreams, psychically attacking, right? And this is just an example. I'm not picking on anybody. The bottom line is this. When we dream, that is another way of releasing energy. When we're sleeping, we're still what? Comprised of energy. Energy moves. When you express your emotions, that is your energy in motion. The emotions, again, your energy is supposed to move. It's not supposed to be stagnant. So when a narcissist shows up in your dreams, perhaps it's time to release something or someone. Yeah. So the psychic attacks are very real. I've read some on social media. I have read some testimonies about psychic attacks by narcissists, or people being psychically attacked by narcissists. Now, see, I have seen some videos about this. It's very interesting, but this is something that's not far-fetched. Now, of course, the couple of cluster B personality types that I have had in my life at one time, of course, I've had dreams about them. No question. But once I told them to leave, they had to leave. And they did. And sometimes it takes more than one time to do it, though. Okay, so let's see here. We're getting ready to wrap this up, guys. So I didn't want to stay on too long tonight. But again, I know we have a holiday weekend coming up. And I may go ahead and come back on maybe on Saturday. Yeah, if not Saturday, it'll be early next week after the holiday. But I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight and joining me. And I'm just still going over your comments. Anybody have any questions? Any more questions? Yeah. Okay, guys. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to wrap this up. And I love you guys. Take care of yourself. And remember, it is worth your thriving forward. Okay? Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. I know y'all doing that, but sometimes, especially now, when things are grabbing at our attention, right? You just got to take time out to relax. Take care of yourself and allow people to love you. Okay? I was talking about the trust issue earlier. Narcissists have a way, that experience with them, having that narcissistic codependent relationship, it has a way of leaving an energetic residue that is real funky. Allow people to love you. Okay? Trust yourself. You got it. Okay? You got this. Right now, energetically, there are some people who are harvesting. They're even embedding. Okay? What I mean by that? Trying to cover their energy, right? Or cover your energy with theirs. I may mention this on the next live stream because there's a lot of energy harvesting going on right now. People are trying to swap out contracts. They're trying to embed energies with other people. That's just another way of saying that they're trying to get people to suffer the consequences of their poor actions or their poor choices or their negativity. So make sure you're very mindful of your energy right now. Okay? Take care of yourself. And I know some of you have loved ones who are around, and I'm glad you have that. But allow people to love and care about you, Yeah, allow that. It's hard, though, after a narcissist has groomed you and perhaps believing that you don't deserve that. But, the next time the narcissist tries to goad you into argument or they're trying to come at you, yeah, and I'm not saying go toe-to-toe with them and start an argument, but just, be mindful. Be mindful of yourself. What makes you feel good? Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself heading? Is the narcissist there? That's another challenge for y'all, right? The next time you start thinking about love, anything that's positive in your life, see how many times the narcissist pops up in your mind. Yeah, that part. They probably won't show up. But whenever you think about drama, pain, anguish, they always there, aren't they? So, okay, I want to just leave y'all with that. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Now, just one person, I just saw somebody pop up. R. Davis, welcome to the live stream. Just saw you, buddy. Or ma'am. Thanks, Star, for being here in this community. All right. Well, thank you. All of you. Okay. I love y'all. Take care now.